So they took maybe 20 bucks and an old watch? Mr. Manson, did you even take a swing?
No.
Could have taken her, Dad.
Heard you had some excitement last night. I wish they'd have picked my place, you know?
Why didn't you take him out?
I was just trying to keep the damage to a minimum.
Yeah, how's that working out for you?
You okay? Because you don't look okay.
Ilya, how are you today?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm really good. I have to say congratulations on this movie. I enjoyed it so much. I've been describing it to everyone as potentially one of my future ultimate Friday night in movies. I think it's so much fun. But I'm really curious, what would one of your ultimate Friday night in movies be?
I think the first one that was on replay throughout the summer of 99 or 2000 was The Matrix. That was something I was 15, and that movie, we literally watched it, every weekend, twice, Saturdays and Sundays. I think nowadays, the ones that I keep coming back to and rewatching are mostly comedies. This is something that, feel good pick-me-ups. And I think I've seen Anchorman and Hot Fuzz at this point about 20 times each. And I wish I had more courage to look for, things I haven't seen before and expand my possible horizons of film watching experience. But nope, sometimes I'm like, all right, it's Edgar Wright time. That's it. And I could do the Cornetto Trilogy in one go, and it makes me happy.
No, I listen. It's like comforting. I totally understand it. I'm always curious when it comes to movies like this, because a fact that sticks out in my mind. I always remember Ang Lee when he was talking about Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Whenever it came to a fight scene in the script, it just said they fight, and then you just see the magic that he's made. I'm curious, in your case, when it came to this, what was there in the script, and what were like your personal parameters for what you wanted to expand it to?
I think Derek is a very fantastic writer, especially in the sense when it comes to describing action scenes. He gets the important points across. Like, for example, the bus fight said he starts off slow and then like a machine gets oiled up and goes at it hard. That's it. And it really was, 3 or 4 lines into a 4-minute scene, which allows you to think there, sit down with your team, with the stunt team and coordinators, and figure it out what we're going to do, how we're going to tell the story wise. And then sometimes he gets to be specific when he needs to be specific. So it's it really leaves a lot, as it should. A script is not a direct instruction. It's a manual that should tell the story, and then you figure out all the visual side of it. So it was just a lot of fun sitting down and figuring stuff out. And occasionally I called Derek. Derek, do you think it's too much if we use a claymore to do something? He's like, and he's like, no, I think I'm okay. That's what I was thinking too. So he just, it was back and forth, the discussion, talking to Bob, talking with producers, and figuring out the most juiciest, yet still somewhat grounded things that we can go for.
That's my pull quote right there. It's like, do you think it's too much to use a claymore? No, it's okay. One of the things I absolutely loved in it is like there's an old school, visceral, real physical approach to the action. It's stuff that you kind of people I know I associate with the 80s and 90s, and then we missed it a bit when CGI came in. But when it comes back to making it that felt through the screen, is that more difficult or less difficult than implementing CGI?
Oh, I think it's different. I think CGI is a phenomenal tool, and if you use correctly, it's we're lucky to have it. To me, it just always felt, if this was a superhero movie, it would be a little bit different. But sure, because what we're doing, we're allowed to have this grounded realism where, sure, there's some elevation in terms of how much the characters can take, but it's a lot of it comes the fact where you're feeling some of the action. I think a lot of it comes from Bob emoting throughout. He's not just there, throwing the punches. He's actually working through. The character's always going through something. If there's a close up in his eyes, he's thinking. There's gears are turning. That's a wonderful thing with Bob. A little bit of Bob goes a long way. So I'm glad you picked up that feeling we were going for, because we were always saying that it's a South Korean thriller, and we're always referencing. My personal best reference was Bittersweet Life, for the abrupt violence and the character, sort of the inner conflict, and obviously old boy, but it was something from the very get-go. We talked about the character gets wounded, he's real, he can't, get shot and get up and, do some more. So there's a fine balance of course, it's still not fully grounded because otherwise it's a very different movie, but we're going to keep it to this realism that we love so much in our favorite films.
Fantastic. Ilya, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much.
There's a long dormant piece of me that so very badly wants out.
What are you still doing here, old man?
Me? I'm nobody.
Nobody! Nobody! There's nobody!